Hey guys, how's it going? It's Calvin Raab. So when you turn 18, a lot of things change. You become more autonomous. You become an adult. You can now vote, along with a host of different opportunities that are opened up to you when you turn 18. But one kind of area that isn't talked about enough is what to do with your finances when you enter adulthood. This should be something that everyone should be talking about, but they don't. So in this video, I'm going to go over 7 different things that you should do pertaining to your personal finances when you turn 18. These aren't in any particular order, but they are all very, very important to setting up a healthy and just good financial future for yourself right when you turn 18. So let's jump into it. This is going to be the first thing that you should do when it comes to personal finances when you turn 18. And if you're new here, my name's Calvin Raab. I make videos all about personal finance, so if you're interested in that at all, I would love it if you would subscribe. The first thing that you should do is start looking into investments, because this is great. Once you turn 18 years old, you're now old enough to open up your own brokerage account, and you are now old enough to buy and sell stocks. So what you should be doing is looking into investments, maybe getting a book on investing or something like that. Or if you don't want to do that, I recommend just checking out some of my other videos that I have, how to get into the stock market. I made a video about every step that you should take, but just become aware of it. What stocks are which, what is a blue chip stock, what is a pretty safe portfolio, what's a risky portfolio, what are big indexes and different things like that. Just understand a bit of the vocabulary. And I keep talking about the stock market, but look into other investments as well. Look into different things like real estate investing and different things like that, and just begin to understand the world of investing. You're now 18, everything is now opened up for you. So just look into what your opportunities are and just learn about it a little bit. Number 2 is start earning money. So I could also phrase this as kind of get a job. And there's multiple reasons you should do this. The first one is you're going to start having some money coming in, and it's important to be saving your money. And that way you even have money to invest. You don't want to rely on your parents always just for money coming in. And you're getting older now. You're now 18 years old. You can now go and get really kind of any job that you want. And all the different opportunities are out there. You can likely drive now, and there's no really excuse. And you're young enough that you still have enough time. You can maybe work on the weekends or maybe over summer, and just getting money coming in is so important, especially at such a young age. And on top of that, it's great to get a job because you can learn about how business works, how to work with employees, how to work with your boss, how to work in a professional setting. And that was something that I went out and got a job when I was a teenager because I, of course, wanted to make money, but I got a whole lot more out of it just due to understanding how business works. So this is definitely something that you should take advantage of, start earning money. It's also great because you don't have a bunch of expenses. Now you're likely still living at home. You don't have a mortgage or anything like that, so you can save a high percentage of your income. Likely for the rest of your life, you won't be able to save as much money as you'll be able to save right now. So this may be something that you should definitely take advantage of. Number 3 is take a good look at college. And this is something that not enough people do. A lot of people just see college as the next step and they just go right into it without even really thinking about it. So what I mean by evaluate it is I want to look at, where can you really go to college? Like, where did you get accepted, or maybe you're in the process of applying? First look at how much it's going to cost you. How much debt are you going to have to go into? What's the scholarship looking like? And then also take a critical look at what you want to study and look at, all right, this is my salary afterwards. Will I be able to handle that much debt? Is that the best way for me to kind of go to my future goals? And just take a good look at it, understand the finances. Too many people that I know, I'm in college right now, too many people jump in, they get in a mountain of debt, they don't know what's going to come next, and you don't want to get in that situation. So just know what to expect, evaluate if it's best for you for your kind of future goals, and you can think about different, more unorthodox parts of college. Maybe you want to go to community college first if you're not too sure kind of how you want to go about it. Maybe you want to go to trade school. Just take a good look at college and understand the toll it's going to take on your financial life. Number 4, and this one is study personal finance. So now that you are an adult, you'll likely get into your real job in the coming years. And I highly encourage you to start studying a little bit about personal finance and just know how taxes work, know what you can write off when it comes to taxes. Of course, it goes back to the number 1 about investing, but also things like watching your money, know how mortgages work and how loans kind of work and different things like that. So just understand personal finance as a whole. There are some great personal finance books that are out there, and I know when I say that, a lot of people are like, personal finance books, and just like fall asleep thinking that's the boringest thing they've ever heard in their life. But if you just go on Amazon and look at personal finance books, you can find ones that are just very interesting reads that'll keep you engaged, and it's just great to have some financial knowledge before you start making money. And if you don't want to read, I recommend checking out videos on this channel. You know, I have a passion for personal finance. I'm one of those weirdos, and I made an entire YouTube channel about it. So I highly recommend looking here on YouTube, on my YouTube channel, seeing if there's anything else that you may want to learn. I've got videos pertaining from stocks to real estate to just general basic money principles and different things like that. So look on here, start learning a little bit about personal finance, and you'll be in a great position for when you start earning real money. Number 5, and this is stop wasting time. I mean, you are now 18 years old, and if you think about it, you're getting up there. I mean, in your 20s, you kind of establish yourself about who you are as an individual, and you're 2 years away from being 20 years old. You're gonna likely be going to college in the coming year or so, and it's now time to really take control of your life. You know, maybe you felt a little bit lost through high school. Maybe you felt that you wasted a little bit of time. You didn't work to your full potential or anything else like that. But now it's time to kind of recoup and understand that, hey, you know, I'm about to enter the real world. You know, I am now an adult, and it's now time to take control of my life, take control of your time, and start having time be an asset for you. You know, look where you are wasting time and start being a little more productive and filling in those gaps of times with learning about the stock market, with learning about personal finance and different things like that. So just stop wasting time. And then also, as I'm kind of talking about wasting, I'm talking about time here, but also stop wasting your money as well. I mean, now that you're an adult, it's now time to be a little more fiscally responsible, and it's now time to not waste it on little doodads here and there. You know, that's fine in middle school and high school, but now it's time to be responsible and understand your finances, know how much is coming in, how much is going out, and just being a responsible person both when it comes to your time and also your money. Number 6, and I gave you a little teaser of this in number 5, and that is start planning and budgeting. So when I started doing this, I didn't start doing this until I was around 19 years old, and I definitely wish I started doing it when I was younger. And what I mean by planning and budgeting is it doesn't have to be anything complex. Just know how much money you have. You know, I'd recommend looking at your bank account and seeing how much money's coming in and coming out, and just start looking at where you can maybe make a few changes. You're like, oh man, I don't need that subscription anymore. And just be more aware of how much you're spending. Oftentimes in high school, we spend money without really thinking about it. But start planning and budgeting. You know, you're likely not going to have that many expenses. It's not like you have a rent expense or a mortgage expense or anything like that, or you're probably not paying the utility bill or anything like that. So it's not going to be complex, but just getting in the habit of budgeting, of planning. You know, maybe it's once a week, or maybe it's just once a month, looking over your finances and kind of planning, this is how much I want to spend on going out with friends and this and that. It can be a great habit for when you get older. And then on that same note, it's important to start making goals, some short-term goals, some long-term goals about your financial future. And I think goals are very important. Goals and habits are probably 2 kind of keys to success that I see in my mind. So and you can do it by looking at your plans, looking at your budget. I want to have this much money saved. I want to be going in this direction in life, and just start setting some goals for yourself. Number 7 is establish credit. So oftentimes people don't think about their credit or their credit score until they're 24, 25, or even maybe 30 years old, and they're starting to get a mortgage or starting to apply for rent or something like that. Then they're like, oh man, I have a really bad credit score. Well, if you want a good credit score, you're likely going to want to start at a young age. And that's because your credit score is a score that you're given based on how good you've been with money historically. You know, have you always paid off your loans? Have you always paid off your credit cards? And the longer you've done that for, the better the score. You know, the longer you've been responsible with your money, the higher higher the score. So you're going to want to look into maybe getting a credit card of some sort, just kind of beginning your credit journey. Start building credit in some way, because a big part of your credit score is how long you've held different credit cards and stuff. So I understand that this is a big topic, and if your head is kind of spinning right now, it's like, all right, how on earth do I begin to start establishing credit? I made an entire video about how to start establishing credit from a no credit. If you have never had a credit card before and you want to start establishing a good credit score, then I went over a couple steps, couple things that you can do to start getting a good credit score. But it's important to start young, and I wish I had done this when I was 18. When I turned 18, I was still kind of just using cash and debit cards because I thought that was the best thing to do. But no, you can start using credit scores, get that credit score up, and it'll help. You'll thank yourself later when you're trying to apply for a house or trying to get a certain rent or something like that, and you'll be like, oh man, I'm glad I started young. So look into that. But that is number 7, establish credit. Now that you're 18 years old, you can now go get your own credit card and different things like that. Okay, now the bonus one, and this one could be probably the most important one, and that is invest in yourself. You know, nothing is going to give you a better return than if you invest in yourself. And because you're so young, you have time to invest in your passions. So ask yourself, what are you passionate about? You know, maybe there's some company that you've been thinking about starting. Maybe you want to just do like a clothing company, or maybe you've been wanting to start a YouTube channel or a blog or something like that. Well, do it. You know, you are young enough now that you have enough time. You know, you don't have to go to work every single day for a long period of time. You don't have oftentimes a family that you're trying to look after, and you have time to focus on your passions. And this is just what I did when I was younger. I started before I was 18 years old. You know, I started when I was around 14, 15. I started making videos. You know, I invested my money in buying a camera and buying a microphone and buying lighting equipment and a backdrop, and it was a lot of money, but that investment has certainly paid off as I've started to make a little bit more money from YouTube and different things like that. So you are young, you can take risks and different things like that, and that's something that I encourage. And just if there's any idea at all, if you have any itch to do something, just do it, try it. You know, you're young enough, you can fail, and I'm certainly in those failures, if you do have them, you will learn so much more, and there's never a true failure. So look into that and just invest in yourself. Maybe it's not even in a business. That's kind of where I went with that, but invest in your kind of mental health, your physical health. You know, stay healthy and develop good habits. You know, be eating well, and you'll certainly thank yourself later in life. You know, maybe just start stretching a little bit, working out every day, and just develop good habits, because it all starts when you're young. If you develop good habits when you're younger and carry them on as you get older, you can do so much. So invest in yourself, invest in your time, invest your money into your passions and different things like that, and it will certainly pay you back in the long run. So that will wrap it up. Those are 7 different things that I think that are personal finance related that I think people should do when they turn 18 years old or soon after when they turn adults. That will wrap it up. If you have any others, I would love it if you would let me know. You know, there's probably a lot of people that are just turning 18 or nearing that age, and I'd appreciate if you let us all know what you think they should be doing. You know, I'm only 21 years old, but there are people that are older than me that may have a little more sound advice, and if they've lived a lot longer than I have, and they may have better recommendations. So if that's you, dump it in the comments below. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments below as well. I'll be going through there, I'll be talking to you guys, but that will wrap it up. Thank you so much. My name is Calvin Raab, and as always, I'll see you soon. Hey, you made it to the end of the video. Congratulations. So I'm going to move to the corner of your screen here. If you look in the upper left-hand corner, you are going to see my most recent video. And if you look in the lower left-hand corner, you're going to see a video that YouTube and I each think that you would like. And if you haven't yet, you can hit my face right here and subscribe. As always, my name is Calvin Raab, and I'll see you soon.